ultimately, I said, you know what, I'd like to try to run for public office. And so I ran for county council. It was a Democrat seat before I ran, and was fortunate enough to get elected with about 60% of the vote. And I ran against the guy that ultimately became chairman of the Democrat Party in Charleston. So I don't think I really ran against a fellow that didn't know what he was doing. But I got out there and I knocked on doors and I worked hard. And I let people know where I was coming from and what I believed in. And ultimately, I was elected to county council, and it was a great run. But now I had a chance to really be back involved in my community, and I have enjoyed it immensely on county council. Some of the things that I think when I'm leaving county council, which is at the end of this year, I can look back and say, you know what, I've really improved this process. I've improved it. We now have transparency in county council. Before, nobody knew really what was going on. Now we put all of our budget online, and most recently we put all of our salaries online. I took a tremendous amount of heat for that. And it's amazing. They don't understand. It is not their money, it's the people's money, and it needs to be fully expanded and allow people to see exactly what is going on. And so that was one of the things that, again, you get back to that rationale that maybe I don't know everything. I'm asking people to look at it and to tell me areas that I might have missed, because I'm not so arrogant that I think I know everything. But that's one of the ways we've improved it. We also, when I first got there, we were handing out taxpayer money to charities. Now, I give to charities. I also tithe to my church. But I do not believe that it's appropriate for elected officials to get $35,000 and hand it out like Santa Claus. And that's what they were doing when I got there. The first year I was on council, I said, I am not doing this, and two other council members stood up with me, and I'm very proud of them. A guy named Curtis Bostic and a guy named Dickie Schwiers. And we said, we're not doing this. We can either go back to the general fund and be used for only services, or it can be returned to the taxpayers. That took a lot, because it had been in place for probably 12 to 15 years. That was fighting the status quo. You hear a lot about people saying these days, look, we don't want the status quo anymore in DC. Well, on the local level, I fought the status quo. I fought against the highest paid administrator and the highest paid lawyer. And I did it because it starts at the top. It starts at the top. If we're going to really get control of spending, you can't expect to pay the highest in the state for the lawyer and the administrator and expect everybody else to be just comfortable with that. And so I said I'm opposed to that, and I'm not willing to go forward in that regard. I was the only person to vote against the administrator, and three other people joined me with the lawyer. But what's interesting is I have to work with these people every day. And that's how much I felt like this was the right thing to do.